Libras. How are you guys doing this day or whatever today is? Oh my gosh, it's crazy. All right, so we are doing your reading for May 10th through the 16th. So if you're brand new, welcome. I appreciate you checking out my channel. I hope you enjoy it. I hope it resonates with you, and I hope the divine has the answers you need or the encouragement or guidance that you need. And we do mix astrology and numerology. If you think about it, astrology and numerology is just another form of energies. So we mix all the energies together to get to the whole aspect of what the divine is trying to bring through. So this is how we do the readings. If you're not clear on how I do my readings, please go and check out the video. Why watch my readings, or why my readings are different or something like that. I'd be glad for you to do that. All right. For those returning, thank you so much. And for those of you subscribed, thank you so much for supporting my channel. Love you guys no matter what you do. If you like, subscribe, or just share, or just pop on. All right. Love all you guys. So let's get started. This is the 10th through the 16th of May. We have a new moon on the 11th. And so far as I know, oh my gosh, it's raining. It was supposed to be nice today. Just looking outside, is that rain or is that dust? But it's rain. It's raining outside. But the thing is that the new moon is on the 11th. I'm going to really shoot for the new moon reading. However, I didn't have a good, for those of you know, I have a knee replacement. So I had not a very good doctor's report. And so I have to work really, really hard in this next week in hopes not to have to go back in again. So on the 11th, the new moon reading, I'm just not sure the time. I'll probably post that on the 9th. All right, so that you know. So if you want to know when that is going to be, just go ahead and subscribe, hit the bell, and you'll know. Same as I'm uploading a new video today. It's in how to just, if you've not had a clue how to talk to divine, how to ask for the things that you need. It's just sort of a little tidbit, quick video on how to do that and sort of what to expect and to hear your yes, no, maybe, and the signs to look for in that. All right. So more of a spiritual growth video. I hope you enjoy that. So that'll be uploaded later today. Again, you'll know when it's uploaded if you subscribe and hit the bell. So let's get started. My spread this month, if you didn't watch last week, is going to be different than the other weeks or the other months. So just to give up a little change of pace, just to show a little bit of variety and help you along your way. So I'm going to be doing that. All right. I am going to go back to using the Enchanted oracles for the first energies. And that is going to be in the one I haven't used the Enchanted Forest for a bit. So the Divines card, I don't want to misrepresent it. So the first card is Divines. This is the message for you from the Divine. Whatever it is that you're asking, whatever you're going through, whatever struggles you're having, uncertainties, trying to make a decision. This is a card for you. Second card is the current energies from the 10th through the 16th. Those usually are in correlation to what the divine has to say. And then the future energies is, I'm going to say for May, June, and July, because the planets said that, the divine is saying that there's some transition going on. I even feel it. I was even told that before I even I meditated for the astrology part. And when I went and listened to a couple of astrology researchers and stuff like that, I was like, wow, I was right on track. Yay. I don't know what's going to happen. Something's going to happen here in the next 2-3 months, but it is, I keep hearing the word transition. So somebody's life is going to transition, not small, but pretty big. And it's a good thing. It's not a bad thing. So the energy first, the divine's energy, is the number 17 for this oracle, which is also the number 8. And the number 8 is about our rewards and our progress and how we're moving forward. Or are we moving backwards? It's like that 2 steps forward, 1 step backwards, or do we do 2 steps forward, 10 steps backwards? That is sort of what we're doing. And then the rewards is if we do make it to the end, then we get a reward. Okay, it's how we reward ourselves. Sometimes it's a toxic reward and sometimes it's a very healthy reward. So it all depends on your thought process and how you process things. So this is Ghostlands, guys. This is the number 17 for this card, or for this oracle deck, but it is the number 8 in numerology. Okay, so I've forgotten. So let's make sure that I quote the divine what he wants to say accurately. So whenever you set your sights too far ahead, you run the risk of losing your footing. For rarely do the present and the future match up exactly on Enchanted map that is your life story. The future has no substance right now. So he's wanting you to really focus in on the now. It's not saying don't think about the future, but put it on the back burner. Okay, so he wants you to, it's a place that has no grounding as of yet. It didn't say it has no grounding, it just as of yet. Because the thing is, if you look at the talisman, the things can do switchbacks, the things can go all over the place, but you have to stay focused on the vision, which is the back burner. You keep going forward, all right? And that's, again, I see how this is happening and why these cards are laying the way they are. So you can't live there, yet you can take measured steps to your goal and your dream. These steps are important now. The same goes for nostalgia. You can look into the past wistfully and remember beautiful moments and revisit there, but don't live there, is basically what this is saying. So the ghost lands, think of now. So in this instance, it's really interesting because the ghost lands are sort of frozen in time, which means that it's a time to be still, a time to think, a time to analyze, the time to maybe think about what we want in our future. I was just talking to a coaching session about, do you know what you want? Do you really know? They actually said, yeah, I know what I want. And I said, okay, let's be specific. What is it that you want? Then they couldn't give it to me. They didn't even know what they wanted. Sometimes we have this illusion, we think we know what we want and we desire, but then when we actually really delve inside, it really isn't there, or we really are lying to ourselves what we really want. So pay attention to that. And that's for now, because anything can change. Look at all these things that people wanted to do, and COVID hit, and that totally changed the perspective of travel, restaurants, all that kind of stuff. So we can look to the future, but we know that the future could possibly not come or change, and it could change for the better. A lot of people looked at 2020 being horrible. For me, 2020 was actually a blessing. I'm not going to go there, and I'm not saying that, to not recognize the people that we lost. God forbid we lost too many people. However, it was a transition time in my life. I could have looked at what happened to me, losing my job and things like that, in a negative, but no, I turned it around to a positive. I brought it up, and what can I do during that time, and what can I bring into value, because my value is second dimensional. I don't need material things. I don't need all that stuff. I could order food. I could go pick up food. I could do whatever I needed. However, my home is my sanctuary, my peace. So for me, this has been actually the best 2 years of my life in a long time. Anyway, it's not about me today. All right. So the current energy, this is the 10th through the 16th. This is also the number 5, because this is the unexpected visitors. Unexpected visitors could be a person, or it could be a thing that comes out of the blue, something you didn't expect. It's how we handle it and how we process it, in which way we take that. So if you get unwanted company all of a sudden and your house isn't clean, you're thinking negative, and you're thinking, why did they come? My house is clean. Why didn't they call? Why didn't they do this? Rather than being grateful that they even came over. They don't care about your house. They came to see you, obviously, but that's just a hypothetical. So how you process these unexpected events, the pandemic, how you handle that, how you process that, how you handle people not wearing masks, some of them, and how you handle wearing a mask if you wanted to do that. Are you staying in your lane? Are you paying attention to what you can do? Because you cannot control another person. You can only control what you do and the example that you are setting. Okay, so that's the current energies here. And that is the number 5, because the number 5 sometimes could be really uncomfortable. And the reason why the future energy is another number 5, because we have to look at the shadow work. We have to look inside ourselves, the dark part of us that goes to the negative, that goes to the low vibration, that goes to the self-sabotage, that goes to the whatever it is, that is more of a spiraling down effect rather than a spiraling up effect. And that is your shadow work. That's your inner work. That's your triggers. This is the key, the word that I've heard all day long today. Trigger, 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 trigger. Like, what about triggers? I get triggers. I know about triggers. What is it you're saying? So this is a reading that he's talking about triggers. So focusing in on the now, focusing in on how you handle. Okay, so now this is definitely it. How you handle the unexpected in the present time. You can't handle the unexpected in the past. It's gone. You cannot handle the unexpected that happens in the future because it's not even there yet. It's like doing, well, what ifs? Thank you. Beautiful, beautiful. I used to do this when my brother was murdered because I had the premonition that he wasn't coming home. And I thought, well, what if I bring him home? What if I, find a way to get him home? What if I send him an air ticket? Then he won't get killed over there. What ifs? And then when he did get killed, and that is not a happy premonition to have. But the thing is, I understand why the divine did it at that time. But after he was killed, I'm like, what if I would have done it faster? Because I knew. What if, until a victim's advocate told me at one point in time, you cannot do the what ifs because majority of the time, the what ifs will never happen. It's an illusion. It's in your mind. It's a fantasy. It's not reality. So you can't do, well, what if I got this job? You don't know that. You don't know what the divine is. Well, if I got this job, then everything would be fine. You don't know that. So we can't do the what ifs. And we just have to know, like the divine is saying, to handle the perspectives and the unexpected in a manner of love and truth and honesty to them. So if you're like, okay, I'm getting ready to leave. I'm really sorry you came by, but I'm getting ready to leave. It's not a good time for company. You handled it in a positive manner. It's like, I'm really sorry. Maybe we can get together later or something of that nature. The other thing is that if you turn it around, then it also can really be damaging to somebody that they may never want to come over again, which you don't want to do that. Wow, this is interesting. Okay, so just so you know, you guys, I am doing this spread a little differently, so give me a second to do this. I am doing this different. And at the very end of this spread, it's pretty much the same, only the spread is done differently. But at the end, I am going to add wealth, health, and love and relationships to it. Just a quick read on that, okay? On your wealth and health. Ooh, we're getting a lot of arcanas here. Major, major energies here. Wow, major energies. This is beautiful. Are these upside down? Nope. Okay. Excuse me. What did I just have to eat? Oh, I had a protein shake. And so I don't know what, I put a lot of supplements in my, oh, wow. I put a lot of supplements in my protein shakes. Like, what do I put in my protein shakes? I put in, I put a whole bunch of antioxidants. I put turmeric. I put flaxseed. I put virgin olive oil. I put chia seeds. Because it's really important for me to stay healthy. All right. And protein is a building block for when you're injured. So you really want to eat a lot more protein when you're injured. So anyway, nutrition coaching for you. All right. Almost done here. Let me do it this way. Oh, wow. Twice. Okay. I love you. Yes, I love you too. I love you too. Okay. There is that. Where's my other cards? So these cards here are going to be for your health. Actually, it'll be wealth, health, and your love. All right. Wow, that really again? Okay, sounds good. All right. So I love this, guys, because we have several. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 arcanas, which means these are the major cards in a tarot deck. They're like the ultimate, the top of the top. So when these show up, these are something to really pay attention to. Okay. And then we go into like the wands, we go into the wands, we go into the swords, we go into the cups, and we go into the pentacles. The major arcanas, like we have the magician. Okay, first off, we have the 9 of wands, and I'll go through these first. So we have the 9 of wands and the magician. Then we have the Lover's card, and we have Judgment. So these are really, really important to your for some energy right now. We're looking at what is happening now with these arcana. We're looking at, okay, what is unexpected about this, and where is the shadow work with this? So I'm putting all these energies together. Somebody's really got to work on their energy. Yes, you've gone through crap. Yes, you might even be in the middle of it, and you've gone through a lot. This is your experience to carry with you from the past, but it is not a place where you stay. You have to let go of that past, even if it's one by one. You know, again, we're talking about triggers. So if you've had a past relationship and we're talking about getting to living in the now. If you're in a relationship, and I'm talking about relationships because we have the Lover's card here, and you're in a relationship, but you keep bringing, well, they left me, or they cheated on me, and then they left. Okay, you're bringing that energy, that pain, that crap into your future relationship. It's not a healthy thing to do. It is not a healthy thing to do. If they cheated on you, that person is not the same as the future person. Now, it may be if you're not healed, if you haven't done your shadow work and you haven't fixed yourself, nobody can fix you but you and the divine together. And I'll tell you something at the end of this. If somebody's on, just have me remind me, because this is something that you will be completely shocked at, because this can happen to you as well. But the thing is that you got to do your shadow work to make this relationship work, because somebody out there is comparing a past boyfriend, husband, to this new person or this new lady or whoever, this new partner. They're relating and comparing it to the past experience, and you're gonna blow it because you're manifesting something that is unhealthy. Now, want to turn that around? Yes. Okay. So then you take that past relationship of cheating or whatever it is, that hurt, that pain, whatever you felt, you take that and you bury it and you visit it only. If it takes you to visually, even if you're a very visual person, imagine a big curtain behind you that stretches as far as the eyes can see, right behind you. And every time you turn around, it's a big black curtain, and you turn around, you cannot see the past, because the point of that curtain is to keep you looking forward and knowing that whatever is forward is not the same as what is in your past. What you're going to do is manifest something that will end up in a judgment. Now, it will end up in a judgment. People say, well, I don't mean to judge anybody. But when they say that, they actually sort of do. So we need to be open to whatever anybody has to offer. And we look at that judgment through the eyes of our perspective, of our journey, our history, whatever we have. And that's the only thing that we have to base on. So if your past is broken and has a lot of damage, it's really important to do this shadow work now before you actually ruin a good relationship. Now, you can turn it around. The reason how to do, or not the reason, but the how to do that is to manifest the negative into a positive. I'm a master at that. So if you have something negative, so you had somebody cheat on you, or you had somebody betray you, or you had somebody do that, The way to turn that around in your mindset is each time you have that thought, whether it's a love relationship, whether it's a friend, whether it's your parents, whether it's a schoolmate, whether it's a coworker, doesn't matter. You can use this in any relationship whatsoever. So immediately when you think, oh, well, that's just like my past with so-and-so, you stop yourself immediately in the tracks and you say, they are not my past. This is not my future. My future is not them. My future is new. So you have to stop comparing. You turn that negative into a positive. You recognize what you're doing. This begins to change your thought process in your brain, and it allows you not to look behind the black curtain, because the black curtain you can't change. So that is the sort of a technique to sit there and say, oh, nope, I'm comparing again. That person is not this new person. It's not fair to this new person to compare to my past because I do not know them. They might be an awesome person, an honest person, but you've already prejudged them that they're not, that they're going to do what's back here. So you have not given them no fair chance. So this is one energy here. This is huge because everybody's had challenges. Everybody's been through stuff. It's whether you let go and move on in a new light, or you hang on to it and stay behind and keep having that same pattern happen over and over and over again. All right. This does take time. It takes a lot of insightfulness, and yeah, this is the same energy. Thank you. So you have to be time. You have to take time with yourself. You have to be patient with the process. These are two more arcanas. Okay, two more arcanas that says focus in on this shadow work. Focus in on this inner self work. Because it is going to take a lot of patience, and it's going to take a lot of insightfulness. And the insightfulness is, you know what the insightfulness is? The insightfulness is the aha moment that you recognize what you're doing. I am comparing my past to my future. Wrong thing to do. Because remember, the divine is saying, focus in on the now. Because you have no idea what your future is going to bring. You could be ruining something really, really good and a blessing and an opportunity. Focus in on the now. And that's the insightfulness of the hangman, is to pay attention and not compare, not judge somebody else. Because here's the thing, you're holding yourself back. You're your own worst enemy. I was just talking about this in a coaching session. You're your own worst enemy because you're telling yourself, and you're missing out because we got the 10 of Pentacles in the reverse. We can turn this in the upright. However, this you will have to speak positive to yourself, not negative. For somebody, they have to trust in the process. They have to have faith in the process of the second dimension, which is the divine. You have to trust that there is more going on underneath the surface where those roots are growing, that foundation is growing, that core is growing, that core balance is growing than what you have in front of you. So you're judging somebody by the cover. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. I guess he wants me to stay on this. But we have two King of Wands. Okay, but there's a difference energy here. But we have, this is how we're talking to ourselves. Okay. We have the Sun, we have the King of Wands. I love this energy here. This is changing things and turning things around. This is also the planets, because we're actually, with the planets during May, we're actually talking about illusion and fantasy versus reality. Okay, so we have to look. Reality is, I don't know that person. I don't know if they're good or bad. I just know that I cannot judge them until I hear them talk, feel their energies if they're telling the truth, because again, we have discernment and intuition, and we hear things and feel things, and you have to go with that gut, because most of the time, especially ladies, we have that extra gift to know that. Okay, because this is the beautiful part of this. We want to listen to that beautiful light side, that light energy that is sharing with us, because this can turn around to something very, very beautiful, because we have the Empress in the middle. This is our discernment, guys. This is our discernment. So we're talking to ourselves, we're listening to the higher power, we're listening to divine, and it brings us to something very beautiful and open, because we're no longer listening to that past. It's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And this helps us in our future. This helps us in our walk in the future. Okay. Now, is this unexpected? I don't know. This could be a relationship that's already in the process, and you could be doing that. Could be uh, it could be also somebody else that is coming into your future, because remember, the divine said this is a now energy. So you may unexpectedly have somebody very interested in you that you are possibly new at. And the reason why is because it's the number 5. These are both number 5s. Somebody's going to be very, very doubtful. It's like, man, I don't know. I'm pretty happy where I'm at, but I don't know. This may be the divine giving you somebody if you're ready. If you're not ready, he's going to be testing you, because he wants to see if you're ready to put your past behind you and move forward. So, and the number 5 is very uncomfortable because it's unstable. It's like a new, fresh energy. All right. Okay. So this is really, really important to you. And this is a love relationship, but this could also be a friend relationship. This could be somebody coming back to you, or you going back to them and say, hey, you know what? I'm really sorry about all the things that I said before. Can we just start this over? Blah, blah, blah. And because maybe you've now healed, and that you've looked at that, and we're focusing in on now, and we're not focusing in so much on the future, and we don't want to carry about the past. You know what? I had seen a black thing behind me for a second. It was weird. And now I turn back and I'm like, oh, it's gone. So anyway, so that's how that works. All right. So let's go to wealth. I told you we'll do wealth, health, and love relationships, although this apparently had a lot to do with love. However, just remember, guys, you're holding back and you're sabotaging your own self. We want to get you to turn around and think from the negative to the positive. Start turning. First step of doing that, and there is no negative, there is no positive. Okay, think of the higher vibrations versus lower vibrations, higher, good, bad, whatever you want to figure it. However, you're holding yourself back. Okay. So whatever it is for you to do the inner work and say, oh yeah, I am comparing. I did this with my daughter one year, when I was just she was a younger age, and she just negative. And we were in Disneyland. And I said, today, could you just do one thing for me today? And she said, what's that? And I said, just today, just every time you think or you feel like you're having a negative thought, just recognize it. That's all. Just recognize it. And she's like, yeah, well, I don't have that many, but yeah, I'll do it. At the end of the day, I asked her, I said, so did you even think about what I said, or did you? She goes, you know what? I did. And every time I had a negative thought, I didn't realize how many negative thoughts I was having. So a lot of people are in denial at how many negative things they have going on right now, or thoughts or feelings, until they begin to recognize them. So if you do that, I had her in her mind count by little things, and she says, I couldn't keep count. You can put them on a piece of paper. Oh, I compared him again to, my ex. I compared her to my ex. I compared her to my ex. Before you know it, you don't realize how much you do it until you actually begin to look at it visually and see what's going on. All right. So our wealth. Okay. So this is a new thing for you guys. Now, when we talk about wealth, a lot of times with wealth, we talk about money, right? So our wealth doesn't have to be money. Our wealth could be our health. Our wealth could be watching our children grow up and be successful. Our wealth could maybe for like somebody who's into animal rescue, rescuing animals and making sure that they're taken care of and healed up and finding a good home. That's their wealth. Depends on, so what is your wealth? Do you even know what your wealth is? I know what mine is. But this is the Hangman. This is the time to really look at what is important to you and what is success to you. Wealth and success, same thing. Especially with men, they're driven to bring in the money for the home, and that's just part of their masculinity, of how their brain is wired. Protect and provide. That is what they do, and this is part of their wealth. Is it all of it? No. Maybe some want to see their children go up. Maybe somebody wants successful to travel around the world. Once they hit traveling around the world, they've hit it, kind of a thing. But what is your insightfulness to what your wealth is? That's something the divine is saying. Pay attention, listen to it. This week, maybe sit down and think about what is really important to me. What is success to me? A lot of people don't even have a clue. So now for your health, we have the Four of Cups. Oh dear. So the reason why I say that is Four of Cups. It is important to know your body. It is important to know what your body is doing, how it reacts to certain things and not certain things. It is important to know your body like the back of your hand. If you don't, it's time to do that. However, for those of you that think about your body's physical too much, that's becoming a hypochondriac. That is going above and beyond. That is the person who goes on Google and tries to find, they have a little ache, and then they find a diagnosis for everything and said, oh, that's what I got to go to the doctor. That's not necessarily it. I'm sure I almost said my age, but the thing is, if my joints start hurting, I'm like, oh man, maybe I worked out too hard. Nope, I didn't work out too hard. Maybe I'm getting old and I need to drink more water, or I have arthritis or something that I can actually take care of if I listen to my body. So somebody out there is over the top in their hypochondria and Google researching for their health, and somebody else needs to pay attention more to their health and know their body better. So this week, pay attention to your health. What is it doing? Where is it going? Putting food in. Is it coming out daily? Is it coming out at all? Those kind of things. Those kind of things. You should be going regular every day, sometimes 2-3 times a day, every time you eat, those kind of things. If you're not, your body's not working efficiently, and there's possibly a reason. I'll tell you the first thing, you're not drinking enough water. I'm not going to go into nutrition coaching today. All right. Love and relationships. 10 of Pentacles. 10 of Pentacles. This is the ultimate card. The 10 of Pentacles is the ultimate of ultimate, because in the 10 of Pentacles, we're given everything of love in our mind, in our soul, in our spirit, and in our finances. This is something that is either coming to you, you're in it, or you will be coming to you. Now, again, it's all about how you manifest it. You want love, you got to be love. No complaining. Complaining becomes an addiction. Literally, this is not a joke. And it creates dopamine in your brain that makes you want to complain all the time, because you need that dopamine fix. So learn not to complain. Again, this is your shadow work. If you do complain a lot, somebody says, oh, well, you complain. All you do is complain. That is a key trigger that you need to do work on yourself, not to complain. That is a dopamine addiction thing that keeps you spiraling down. You want to spiral up. Again, I said that negative thought. Each time you complain, realize it. Find out how many times a day you complain. Doesn't matter what you complain about. How many times a day do you complain? Okay? And if you do, it's time to start, nip it in the bud, zip it, find a way to actually heal from that. And don't give that dopamine don't give it the satisfaction of spiking up, because then you keep wanting that more and more and more. And that can happen in drug addiction, sexual addiction, gambling addiction, and all that kind of stuff. So if you're addicted to complaining, the only way to stop that is stop it and turn it into a positive. Okay? That's the only way. All right, guys, this is your reading. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it resonated with you. If it didn't, and somebody came to mind, maybe share that with them. But please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit the bell again, and you'll know when I'm doing the new moon reading, and also when I upload this video later on today. on how to speak to divine and ask for what you want. All right? Take care. We'll see you soon.